I tell you what, it just gets worse and worse. I mean, it's hard to believe, but it does. Musk came out and said FEMA, well, they got busted. Um, there was word that they got caught making a payment of $59 million to New York for hotels for illegal immigrants. Just to keep it simple, that's against the law. FEMA is made, well, they made FEMA for disasters, for here in America, for their citizens. A hurricane, a fire like California, for the citizens, right? For the immigrants and all that, U.S. aid, just corrupt as all get out as well, as we just learned. And now FEMA gets caught doing this after the big deal at first was that the Trump administration came in and said stop all payments till we figure out where our money's going. Well, of course, as we know, there's been a big pushback from the Democrats. But nonetheless, when Trump signed that piece of paper, executive order saying stop all payments, that's what was supposed to happen. Because he's the executive. Right? And he said pause it just to see where the money's going. They went behind his back 4 people. I'm sure the names are going to come out. They lost their jobs behind that. And good for them. Because that's what we don't need. Right? So that was the big deal at first. Then if you think about it, and yo, Democrats, you done every time you think it can't get any worse, it does. You're paying $59 million to New York for illegal immigrants. But you got citizens in North Carolina. For how long already? That are staying in tents. In tents. They don't have the money to stay in no hotel rooms, yo. In tents. And FEMA is giving, or they try to pay $59 million to New York for them. All those times we saw those videos of the lines of the immigrants waiting in front of the hotels that at one time I couldn't afford to stay in those hotels. I'm talking about in the middle of everything. Prime spot. Turned out FEMA paying for that joint. And I'm sure that the USA aid also. Somehow, some way. I mean, it's just crazy. It's just crazy because U.S. aid's supposed to go out to other countries. It's not supposed to be in-house. So they ain't supposed to pay for that. And then, with FEMA paying, even, again, your citizens, you forgot your citizens. They had so much bad going on, they lost track. They couldn't control all the madness that was going on at one time. You know how many plugs they had to cover so there wouldn't be no leaks. Think about it. In every the level of government, there was corruption. Just corrupt. And I'm not talking about one congressperson doing that, or like somebody that works in a small town that's like the councilman or something. No, no. I'm talking about layers and layers of corruption, 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 corruption. All your programs have been corrupted. Social Security, Medicaid, everything has to be taken a look at. How do you have it's hard to believe when we speak the numbers that we speak of, unless you're at the level of Musk and Donald Trump and the Rockefellers. Those numbers to us, the average Joe, are just mind-numbing. Okay, on a regular basis, on like any given year. Shout out to Mr. Kennedy out of Louisiana. I can't think of his first name to save my life. But anyway, on any given year, within a 12-month span, there are 40 people throughout the whole world that recorded, right, have reached the birthday of 112 years old, which is astonishing to me. Medusa, they're getting close. 112 years old. 40 people on a regular, like a 12-year span. I mean, a month span. So in July, you got 39 people. But then in September, somebody hits 112. That's 40 people on a continuum. That's about what they average, I guess. Why is Social Security? Again, as to why he said the numbers might be off, but it ain't gonna be by much. I believe, especially when you're talking about these numbers. Believe he said over 100. No, can't be 100 million because we only have 300 something million. I think 12 million. I think it was 12 million. It might have been 12 million. Then he said something about 8 million that on our Social Security rolls that are getting paid Social Security every month. 12 million or 8 million that are 112 years old. How does that possibly happen? Even if it's 8 million, or maybe it's 1.2 million. I think it's 1.2 million. But that's what it was, 1.2 million. But there's only 40 people known every year. I don't know for how many years, but the average of 112 years old, about 40 people. How does 102 million, but how does 1.2 million get Social Security? And it doesn't get caught? Like I said, just a rock. And again, you got people in North Carolina, even still today, what is almost a year now? Or over a year. And they're staying in tents, 59 million for illegal immigrants to stay in hotels and trash them. We gave them free food and they discarded it because they said that's not what they're accustomed to eating. then New York thinks it's a great idea to say, well, instead of wasting it, let's just give them these cards with money on it. You go try that in jail. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go try that in jail. And while you're at it, go to the gate and tell the CO, hey, I want to sign my sorry papers. Which state, I promise I will never do that crime again. And they'll let you right out the door. Take my word for it. Just go up there and say, hey, I want my sorry papers. Promise I'll never do it again. I would have been like, if you don't eat this, yo, I don't know what to tell you. You want to give them cards. Bless your heart. Anyway, guys, be careful out there.